From a devoted Mormon missionary to an accused sex offender and convicted billionaire scammer, Trevor Milton's journey is a troubling saga of ambition, deceit, and alarming criminal charges. This former entrepreneur captivated investors with grand visions of transforming the trucking industry through his electric vehicle venture, Nikola Motor. Yet, as Trevor soared to celebrity businessman status and accumulated a vast fortune seemingly overnight, disturbing allegations surfaced, from accusations of sex misconduct involving minors to an alleged elaborate scheme to deceive the market. Welcome to Profit Predators Business Scams Unveiled, where the glossy facade of entrepreneurship meets its shadowy counterpart. In this series, we dive deep into the world of white-collar crime, unraveling the stories of ambition turned deception. From the boardrooms to the courtroom, we expose the mechanisms and minds behind the most notorious business scams. These are tales of greed, betrayal, and the pursuit of wealth at any cost. Stay with us as we reveal the true cost of these crimes, not just in dollars, but in trust and human impact. Your journey into the darker side of business starts now. It seemed like Trevor Milton had it all: genius entrepreneur status, a billion-dollar fortune, and a beautiful marriage. But just as his electric vehicle company Nikola was taking off, Trevor's carefully constructed world came crashing down in the most disturbing way imaginable. The last thing anyone expected was for Trevor's own cousin to step forward, accusing him of sex assaulting her when she was only 15 years old. The alleged incident happened at their grandfather's funeral back in 1999, with Trevor being 17 at the time. As if that horrific claim wasn't enough, within weeks, another woman emerged, saying Trevor had assaulted her at 15 too. She was identified only as Allison, but provided sickening details that Trevor boasted to a friend about taking her virginity and saying he liked young, naive girls. Soon, a third allegation surfaced about inappropriate behavior on a modeling trip. The revelations rocked the local community and the nation. How could this married Mormon billionaire, who had portrayed himself as a visionary business leader, be hiding such depravity? Investigators scrambled to corroborate the accusations as Trevor's money, power, and reputation gave way to shocking criminal charges. Everyone wondered, was the electric truck tycoon's incredible rise to wealth and fame simply a cover for his sinister double life as a sex predator? Trevor Robert Milton was born in Layton, Utah on April 6, 1982, to William Bill L. Milton, who worked as a manager at Union Pacific Railroad, and Sally Gwen Hunt Milton, who worked as a real estate agent. Trevor, who has a brother and 3 sisters, experienced several relocations during his childhood. His family moved to Las Vegas when he was very young and later relocated to Kanab, Utah, when he was 8 years old. As a child, he was a Mormon and attended the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, LDS. Tragically, at the age of 15, his mother passed away from cancer. After completing high school, Trevor embarked on an LDS mission to Brazil, where he attained proficiency in Portuguese. Nevertheless, his mission was prematurely cut short due to poor health after 18 months. Trevor claimed he left college after a single semester at Utah Valley University to pursue opportunities in sales and marketing. However, reports suggest he was dismissed for employing others to do his assignments. Trevor Milton tied the knot, as confirmed by a tweet he posted on October 24, 2017, expressing his joy at marrying a woman he considers better than himself. His profile picture on his Instagram account features his spouse, and he describes himself in the bio as a husband to an amazing wife. Online records revealed that the only Chelsea linked with Trevor is Chelsea Virginia Bergman. Bergman attended Utah Valley University and Cameo College of Essential Beauty and held a license as a master esthetician in Utah from January 2012 until its expiration in September 2019, according to records from utah.gov. He turned into a serial entrepreneur upon returning to Utah in 2003. Trevor embarked on his entrepreneurial journey in his early 20s by founding a company that marketed security systems door to door in St. George, Utah. Trevor recounted his initial triumph in an interview, stating, I established that company, and within roughly a year or two, I had divested it for nearly $2 million, and I felt like I was at the pinnacle of success. The business, named St. George Security and Alarms, was officially registered in 2004 as per records from the Utah Secretary of State website. 2 years later, Trevor and a business associate sold the enterprise, receiving an upfront payment of $300,000 along with monthly installments of approximately $5,000, ultimately amounting to a total sale price of $850,000, as confirmed by the buyer who was interviewed. Shortly after acquiring the business, the buyer discovered discrepancies from Trevor's portrayal. Anticipated contracts failed to materialize, and it surfaced that customers had been misled during the door-to-door sales pitch. Exercising the provision in the purchase agreement, the buyer returned the business to Trevor, incurring a total loss of $300,000. Trevor subsequently sold the business again to another Salt Lake-based company for an undisclosed amount. After exiting the alarm business, Trevor allegedly reinvested the funds from the alarm company into upillar.com, a website he launched in July 2009. The platform provided free classified ads and generated revenue by charging car dealers for listing used vehicles online. In various interviews, Trevor depicted UPillar as a swiftly expanding enterprise outpacing giants like Amazon and eBay. During an interview with Forbes, Trevor asserted that UPillar boasted 80 million monthly users. However, websites at that time described UPillar as having only reported an average of around 200,000 monthly visits and noted its heavy expenditure on advertising, resulting in a temporary surge followed by a subsequent decline in usage. The downfall occurred when the company's funding depleted, and it couldn't meet the demand any longer. Later on, Trevor established an alternative energy vehicle enterprise named dHybrid Inc., specializing in equipping commercial trucks with engines capable of operating on natural gas rather than diesel. Following an agreement with an investor to acquire a significant share in dHybrid, Trevor alleged that the investor was taking their intellectual property, prompting dHybrid Inc. to take legal action against the investor, and Trevor subsequently closing the company. Afterward, Trevor created dHybrid Systems, mirroring the former enterprise, but with an increased emphasis on fabricating storage systems for natural gas and hydrogen. In 2015, Trevor established Nikola Motor Company with an initial funding of $2 million from Worthington Enterprises, Inc., which is a global diversified metals manufacturing company based in Columbus, Ohio. Trevor served as the CEO during Nikola's formative years. Trevor initially launched Nikola from Salt Lake City, Utah, but relocated the headquarters to Phoenix, Arizona in 2018 to access a larger talent pool, as he stated to Forbes. Along with this move, Trevon purchased a spacious residence in Phoenix. Property records in Maricopa County, Arizona, show that Trevor and his wife Chelsea are listed as co-owners of a house spanning over 9,000 square feet. Situated in a gated community approximately 20 miles south of downtown Phoenix, the Miltons acquired the property for $2.150 million in April 2018. According to Redfin, the house boasts 5 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms, and occupies roughly 1 acre of land. Described as a hilltop custom Tuscan-inspired estate in the listing, it offers majestic views and more than 9,100 square feet of luxurious living, deemed ideal for a Valley executive or sports figure. On September 10, 2020, just 2 days following Nikola's partnership with General Motors, short seller Hindenburg Research published a report alleging that Trevor disseminated false information over an extended period and labeling Nikola Motor Company as an elaborate deception. Subsequently, it emerged that Hindenburg Research collaborated with a whistleblower associated with Nikola, operating under the Twitter username Insider Nikola for the report, and that independent individuals conducting unofficial investigations were monitoring them on behalf of the company. Nikola's stock declined by 8% on that day and plummeted an extra 15% the subsequent day, following Trevor's failure to deliver his promised rebuttal on Twitter as anticipated. Investigations conducted by Bloomberg and the Financial Times validated certain aspects of the Hindenburg report. Nikola refuted the accusations of fraud provided in the report and asserted that it contained deceptive information. Nikola Motor Company faced litigation from at least one legal firm representing shareholders over potential fraudulent activities in 2020. On September 14, 2020, the Wall Street Journal and other sources disclosed that the Securities and Exchange Commission and Department of Justice had initiated inquiries into potential securities fraud involving Trevor and Nikola. 6 days later, Trevor stepped down from his role as executive chairman of Nikola Corporation on September 20, 2020, shortly after posting a tweet stating that cowards flee, leaders remain and confront. He was prohibited from discussing Nikola on social media, online forums, or any other digital platforms without prior authorization from the company. Trevor held onto 91.6 million shares of Nikola, valued at approximately $3.1 billion in late September 2020. On September 22, 2020, speculation surfaced on a Twitter parody account alleging that Trevor had been apprehended by the Federal Bureau of Investigation and DOJ at Sky Harbor Airport in Phoenix, Arizona. The tweet was disseminated by TechCrunch and other prominent publications. However, hours later, it was exposed as a fabrication, leading TechCrunch to issue a public apology. After garnering public attention, Trevor deactivated his Twitter and Instagram profiles. Everyone was shocked when his own cousin accused Trevor of sex abusing her as a 15-year-old girl at their grandfather's funeral in 1999 while Trevor was 18 years old. The Wall Street Journal later proved that some parts of the accusation were true. The true parts were that Smith was really Trevor's relative, and that Smith had told her family about the incident a few months after it allegedly happened. Relatives also informed the Wall Street Journal that they had informed religious authorities, but no legal charges were brought forward. CNBC later confirmed that Smith had officially reported the incident to the local police in Holiday, Utah, where the alleged assault occurred. CNBC also confirmed that in 2017, during the hashtag #MeToo movement, Smith shared her story of the assault on Facebook without mentioning Trevor's name. In their coverage of the accusation, both CNBC and the Wall Street Journal stated that Trevor's age at the time of the alleged assault on his cousin was actually 17, not 18, which could potentially change the severity of the accusation from a felony to a misdemeanor. On September 28, 2020, CNBC revealed that another woman had stepped forward, alleging that Trevor had assaulted her. She later consented to be identified by her first name, Allison. The alleged incident supposedly happened in 2004, when the purported victim was 15 and Trevor was 22. The claimed assault was reported to the St. George Police Department. It was reported that Trevor told his friend and roommate at the time that he took her virginity in the theater room and said, "I like young girls and virgins because they are naive." Trevor and this roommate later had a big argument and stopped being friends. A TV channel in Utah later shared that at least 3 women had accused Trevor of inappropriate behavior, the 2 mentioned earlier, along with a third incident supposedly during a modeling trip. However, 2 of these cases were outside the legal time frame for prosecution. Trevor rejected the accusations, with a spokesperson stating, "Mr. Trevor has never been involved in any inappropriate physical contact with anyone at any time in his life." On October 5, 2020, Trevor took legal action against Utah businessman David Bateman in Utah Federal District Court for defamation per se. The allegations included claims that Trevor was involved in sex trafficking and had assaulted numerous unnamed women. In July 2021, a United States federal grand jury issued charges against Trevor Milton, including 3 counts of securities fraud and wire fraud. He also faced civil charges of securities fraud from the SEC and turned himself in to the authorities. Trevor entered a plea of not guilty to the charges and was released on $100 million bail. Trevor faced an additional accusation of wire fraud in June 2022. In October 2022, after a day of deliberation, the jury declared Trevor guilty of 1 charge of securities fraud and 2 charges of wire fraud. Sentencing was postponed until December 18, 2023, when Trevor received a 4-year prison term. He was also fined $1 million and might have to surrender some of his property as part of the sentence. In the end, Trevor's unquenchable thirst for wealth, power, and fame led to his downfall. The stunning downfall of the former electric vehicle mogul is a reminder that true success and fulfillment cannot be found through the pursuit of wealth, power, and fame when it involves exploiting and deceiving others. Thank you for joining us on Profit Predators Business Scams Unveiled. Today's journey through the intricate webs of deceit and ambition reminds us of the price of unbridled greed. As we conclude, remember, awareness and integrity are our best defenses in a world where profit can often precede principle. For more insights and stories that peel back the layers of the business world's darker side, subscribe and stay tuned. Together, we'll continue to share stories that shock and shape our marketplaces. Until next time, stay informed and always question the integrity behind the profits.